Hello, this is S.K. Williams, and it is the month of October, the month of All Hallows Eve, which, while treated as a holiday, is not an official holiday in most places, and is, strictly speaking, traditionally not a holiday at all, but rather the eve before a holiday. All Saints' Day is the actual holiday. That is why it's actually called All Hallows Eve. It is the eve of All Saints' Day. Quite contrary to popular mythology, though, it was not an ancient, pre-Christian, pagan holiday. It had always been a Christian holiday, or rather, always the vigil prior to a Christian holiday. Nevertheless, our culture has made Halloween an unofficial official holiday. We commemorate it to some extent, and in the past, we used to have children dressing in costumes, going from house to house, doing trick-or-treat. Some places, of course, still engage in this particular ritual practice. But in today's world, that is a dying tradition. Most places now hold some sort of Halloween event. For example, where I live, there's a gathering. It's not always held on Halloween Day itself, but there's a gathering toward the end of the month, usually on Friday and Saturday, and there you can get candy and other food, and there's vendors, and they have a free movie in a park. It's fun, and adults and children can go and wear costumes and celebrate. Halloween is therefore honored to some extent without the need to go house to house. It has largely replaced the trick-or-treat tradition. I'm rather sad to see it go, but at the same time, it's more of an evolution toward this new direction. Parents began worrying about their children going house to house. But Halloween is one of those holidays where we commemorate the dead and the scary, where we can confront fears of primordial existence, and in which we can address certain issues that lurk deep within our souls, issues which may be real fears that we feel of the actual thing. All those things can, in a Jungian fashion you may say, be a representative of things. For instance, death can actually be about death, but it can also be about loss, such as a loss of a job. The fear of being haunted by a ghost can be a fear of being haunted by a ghost, or it could be a fear of one's own regrets, one's own past judgments, one fearing that one's own past will catch up to them. Guilt, regret, remorse can be just as powerful as being a ghost as anything else. Vampires draining the life of you. And I think that we need to address those issues, and having a time every year set aside for such is healthy. It is a rather good thing. So, for the remainder of Halloween month, I shall be trying to do videos of this like, although I will try and do better ones than this one. Keep in mind, I'm still under the heavy hand of monitoring, because the two of you has elected to do so. And I do think it's because of the contest coming up in November in America, where Daniel Trumpet and Camilla Harris seek the power of the Premier of the United Avalonian States. Let he who has ears, let them hear. It is a rather apt thing to think about, though. For you see, my fears must also be confronted. And the great horror that comes for me is gaggle, not allowing word choices to be permitted. And I suppose their fears prompted this. Fears of losing their precious contest, fear of losing the cultural conflagration that's going on, fear of all their hard work at trying to steer society in one way and control the information, failing to produce the results they want, and worse, it going the opposite direction. And their fears have led to their penalties to me, which created my fears of my loss of freedom. And so this month is perhaps apt for that end. This is a short video, but I shall endeavor to do longer ones. And until then, I take my leave of you now. Thank you. God bless, and goodbye.